of the day, if there's an app, the word of the day, whatever, you need to do that. You need to, because you don't need to just know, you hear the word, you need to know what the word means. Some words you need to put in your vote. Okay, so.
I do vocabulary of the day, and it gives me 2 to 3 words a day.
Okay. That's good. So in all this, this is what I see, okay? Not with my eyeballs that are here. These eyeballs. I see the Lord is wanting to use you in this area, interpreting. The Lord is wanting you, in order to do this, your skills have to develop, meaning your language, your ability to, and language means know words that you don't normally know at your age, know the meaning of that word, or have some idea of what the word means. Because if somebody were, not that I can think of a word, but if somebody preaching or talking uses some word and I have never heard that word before, I can figure out what they mean because I'll stop signing, obviously, and listen to what he's, listen to the context of what he's saying and figure out what that word was. Or drop the word, but listen to the context anyway, and because you're interpreting, you're given the concept of what's it's not every word. Soon, you wouldn't be signing all that. We would condense all that to concepts. And we can't do that in 5 days. Can't do that in 5 days. And there's a reason why right now, learning it in English word order, the one thing I've said since the Lord has had me signing in church was there will be a day where people need to be able to sign scriptures and things, because that might be the best way to talk about scriptures, or to share scriptures. English word order, learning it, English word order, allows you to be able to go to a food truck and order what you want in English word order, and they know what you're saying. Okay? I am a proponent of ASL. It's a language, it's the deaf's language. I'm just not that person. I can sign in ASL, not like some people. I'm not exposed to that. But the lady that I interpret for her, and I use the language that she uses, which is the concepts are right, but it's an English word order most of the time. You wouldn't want a professor coming in teaching one of your classes and speaking as a university professor, because you'd be like, what? Same thing in ASL, okay? Listen to this, practice your songs, but I'm really excited to see what's next, actually, with this coming up.
Thank you.
Okay. Also remember that as you start doing things like this, there may be no one out there who has a clue what you're saying, okay? But just one day, there might be somebody that walks in that does, okay? You do not have to be perfect. This is what I said a while ago. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to not make any mistakes. But you also don't want it to be on the other aspect of it, to where there's too much missing. Okay? So there's a happy medium there.
Where they can get what I'm saying, even if I don't say all of it. They get the concept.
And that's The other part of that, and it happens in songs too, is your facial and your body language. Okay? You can't stay neutral. That's why I'm telling you to read all this, because if you're concentrating, if you're up there interpreting and you're concentrating to listen and you're thinking, how do I sign that? How do I sign that? How do I sign that? Or what's the sign? This looks like you're concentrating. This has to look like what they're talking about. Are they happy and light, or are they serious? That's what this has to look like. And this, all this. Okay?
Okay.
It all goes together. You can't have one part and not the other, because the full message is not there.
Right.
Okay?
Because like if you're happy and you have a straight face, like you're not
Well, and that's also, if you have somebody speaking that's monotone and boring as all get out, and you were to be interpreting all happy, something's wrong here. You don't look like them. So you can't add, just like the word, you can't add to or take away. It is what it is. Okay?
But I do foresee him having you do more scripture interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do too.
Not the sermons, but
Yeah, not the
Mhm.
sermons.
the scripture interpretation.
And you can do that. You can do that. The only thing, it's just like with the light, when we looked at light, if you have a heads up beforehand, it would be better for you to be able to look up the scripture, and if there's anything you have a question about, drill down and study into what it means. Okay? Because that's as much of your responsibility is doing that as it is to sign it. Because you don't want to sign something that, a meaning of something that's not what it really means. Okay, I know you know that.
It's like there. Which they are you talking about?
Yeah. There.
So many of them.
So, do you have any questions?
Oh, I
How do you feel?